Hello everyone. Welcome to AVLSI lecture number 18, part number 2. So today we will directly start with some numericals. So for the first question number 1, we have to calculate the voltage gain of the circuit shown in the figure 18.2.a. Okay, so this is my figure number 18.2.a. Let me just mark it over here. This is 18.2.a. Okay, fine. If lambda is equal to 0. So let us look into this diagram, figure number 18.2.a. So here, this is my cascade amplifier with an additional resistor connected to the X node, RP. So for this network, we have to determine V out upon V in. So we'll not follow the traditional approach by drawing the small signal model and then deriving the formula. It's a lengthy process. Rather than that, we will use our gain by inspection technique, or we will simplify as simplified as possible. Now, so let us divide that into two parts. So first we'll analyze M1 and then we'll analyze M2, right? So if I isolate the M1 transistor, so if I look into the M1 transistor from the source terminal being grounded, and V in applied to the gate terminal, my impedance seen, over here to the M1 transistor will be 1 upon GM1. How? Because the current flowing through ID1 in the M1 transistor is equal to GM1 into VGS1. Correct? We used to write it. So impedance seen for this current source will be 1 upon GM1. And in this case, our V in is nothing but VGS1, correct? So ID is equal to, we can write it as GM1 into V in. So that is a step number 1. ID1 can be written as in terms of V in, which is ID1 is equal to GM1 into V in. Now let's look at M2 transistor. So if you look into the M2 transistor, and we have derived this many times that if you look into the source terminal, M2 transistor is suffering from body effect, right? And M2 transistor is working in the saturation region, and that is guaranteed by the biasing voltage VB, correct? So what will be the impedance looking into the, what will be the resistance looking into the source terminal? It will be 1 upon GM2 parallel to 1 upon GMB2, right? And that is equal to, we can simplify and you will get it as 1 upon GM2 plus GMB2. Okay, so let us call this resistance as RA. So what do we do is we'll replace this M2 transistor with a resistor RA, which is equal to 1 upon GM2 plus GMB2. So that is what exactly we'll do over here. Okay, so our diagram has reduced to this network now. Instead of M2, we have a resistor RA, which is equal to 1 upon GM2 plus 1 upon GMB2. So now we apply the current division rule. So when we apply the current division rule, what can we say? ID2 will be equal to ID1 times the other resistance, RP divided by RA plus RP, right? So that is what we get over here. Now we know what is the expression for RA. RA is nothing but 1 upon GM2 plus GMB2. So now it's the matter of simplification. Okay, fine. So we've simplified further. We'll multiply numerator and denominator by GM2 plus GMB2. So ID2 will be equal to GM1 V in into GM2 plus GMB2 divided by denominator will be 1 plus RP into GM2 plus GMB2. So what will be V out now from this diagram? So V out is nothing but ID2 into RAD, right? So V out is nothing but your ID2 into RAD. So ID2 expression we have got from here multiplied with RAD. So here is my voltage gain. Now V out, here we have V in term on the right hand side and V out on the left hand side. So we'll bring this V in terms on the left hand side. So V out upon V in will be your voltage gain. So your voltage gain expression is given by GM1 RAD into GM2 plus GMB2 divided by 1 plus RP into GM2 plus GMB2. Okay, so that's the expression, and that's the the expression for the voltage gain for this network given over here for this circuit diagram. Okay, so the voltage gain expression for circuit shown in the figure number 18.2.a is given by this expression AV. Fine. So let me keep it steady so you can have a look at it. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can add your doubts, queries in the comment section. Now let's move on to question number 2. So question number 2, it's about cascade amplifier numerical. Remember in lecture number 17 also we have solved one numerical on cascade amplifier. This is slightly different. There we were finding intrinsic gain of cascade amplifier and the small signal voltage gain. Here also we are finding small signal voltage gain, but here additionally we have to find something else. So let us read the numerical. So the numerical states that in a cascade amplifier, W by L of 1 is 50 by 0.5, W by L of 2 is 10 divided by 0.5, and ID1 and ID2 are same, equal to 0.5 milliamperes. RD value is 1 kilo ohm. VTH1, VTH2 value is given 0.6 volt. Lambda is given as 0.1. Mu and Cox is given as 100 microamperes per volt square. Eta value is given as 0.4, and VDD is given as 3 volt. So what they are asking us, we have to choose the value of VB such that M1 is 50 millivolt away from the triad region. Okay, or we can say M1 is 50 millivolt away from the edge of triad region or saturation region. Okay, and we have to calculate the small signal voltage gain. Fine. So let us start. So for M1 transistor to be at the edge of triad region, or the edge of saturation and triad is one and the same. So either we call it edge of triad region or saturation region, it means the same. So what can we say over here? For M1 transistor to be at the edge of saturation or triad region, VDS1 should be equal to VGS1 minus VTH1. And as per our case A, our VDS1 should be equal to VGS1 minus VTH1 plus 50 millivolt. Because here it is written, M1 should be 50 millivolt away from the edge of triad region. So we can write over here VDS1 is equal to VGS1 minus VTH1 plus 50 millivolt. Okay, this we call it equation number 18.2.1. And earlier we have derived this relation VB. So VB is equal to VGS2 plus Vx. No need to derive this again. We have derived it last lecture in 18.1. Okay, so VB is given by VGS2 plus Vx. Fine. So what will be an Vx? Actually, your VDS1 is nothing but your Vx value. So what will be your VB value now? VGS2 plus Vx. So VGS2 plus, what is Vx over here? VDS1. And what is VDS1? VGS1 minus VTH1 plus 50 millivolt. So now indirectly what we need to do is, we need to find VB, right? So for finding VB, we need to find the value of VGS2 and VGS1. Because VTH1 is given and 50 millivolt they have already given, defined the constraint. So now we find the value of VGS2 and VGS1. And okay, let us begin. So M1 and M2 transistor are both in saturation, right? So we can write, ID2 is equal to half mu and Cox W over L of 2 VGS2 minus VTS2 the whole square. So we can write VGS2 in terms of other parameters. So VGS2 can be written as VTH2 plus square root of twice ID2 divided by mu and Cox W by L of 2. Similarly, ID1 also can be written in the similar fashion. So the difference in VGS2 and VGS1 is that in the formula, all the expressions are same, all the parameters are same. ID1, ID2 is same, mu and Cox is same. What is different? W by L. So W by L of 2 is 10 divided by 0.5 and W by L of 1 is 50 divided by 0.5. Now you have the formulas in front of you, plug in the values in the calculator and find the value of VGS1 and VGS2. I'll wait for 10 seconds for your answers. Okay, so once we find the value of VGS1 and VGS2, we substitute in the equation 18.2.2 to calculate the value of VB. Okay, so please verify VGS1 is coming out to be 0.9162 volt and VGS1 is coming out to be 0.9162 volt and VGS2 is coming out to be 1.3 volt. Okay, 1.3071 volt. Yeah, fine, good. So let's proceed forward. So next thing is we find the value of VB. So VB is VGS2 plus VGS1 minus VTH1 plus 50 millivolt. So we know the values of VGS1 and VGS2. So plug in the values over here and we will find the value of VB. So VB is coming out to be over here 1.6233. Okay, you can plug in the values and you can find out the result over here. Okay, so here actually one more term will come, 50 millivolt. that was missing. I mean, we have considered it, but still, I'm writing it over here. Let me add the plus sign also, because you should write, all the terms properly. Yeah. So this result will be, VV will be 1.6233 volt. Fine. So please cross check your answers. If you're getting anything other than this, please let me know in the comment section. Now, next thing we are finding is voltage gain. So voltage gain for cascade amplifier is given by the formula minus GM1 into R out parallel to RD. And we know what is the expression for R out. R out is nothing but 1 plus GM2 plus GMB2 into RO2, the whole into RO1 plus RO2. So in short, we have to find GM2, GMB2, RO1 and RO2. So let's find out the value of GM1. So GM1 is square root of twice ID mu and Cox W by L of 1. So plug in the values over here and find the value of GM1. So here the GM1 came out to be 3.1623 milliampere per volt. So please cross check your answers. Next, on the similar lines, we'll find the value of GM2. It is square root of twice ID mu and Cox W by L of 2, right? And here W by L of 2 is 10 divided by 0.5, right? So plug in the values in your calculator. You will definitely get the value of GM2 as 1.4142 milliampere per volt. Next, we have to find RO1 and RO2. So RO1 and RO2 both will be same because ID2 and ID1 are same. Here it should be ID1 actually, right? So ID1 and ID2 are both same, and that is equal to 0.5 milliamperes. And lambda 1 and lambda 2 are 0.1. So RO1 and RO2 will be 20 kilo ohms. Fine. So next we find the value of GMB2. What is GMB2? Eta times GM2. Thank God, because eta value is given. If eta value was not given, we have to find the value of eta, and that would have been extra work. So right now we have the value of eta. We multiply it with GM2. You will get GMB2 as 0.5657 milliampere per volt. Now we have all the values over here. Plug in the values in the R out formula. Plug in the values over here in the calculator and find out the value of R out. So R out will come a very big number, which is 831.96 kilo ohms. So please cross check this answer. I'll wait for 5 seconds. Okay, all right. Yeah, so it's coming all right. So R out value came out to be 831.96 kilo ohms. Now next is, we got the value of R out. We know the value of GM1. We have to make R out parallel to RD. RD value is 1 kilo ohm, right? So R out parallel to RD. Since R out value is very, very high, R out parallel to RD value will be very close to 1 kilo ohms, right? Which is 998 over here. So multiply GM1 and R out parallel to RD result, that is 998.799, and you will finally get the voltage gain. So the voltage gain of a cascade amplifier is coming out to be minus 3.1585. Okay, so please verify this answer. I hope all of you are getting this answer. Okay, fine. So in this way, you can solve a numerical on your cascade amplifier. So here they were asking small signal voltage gain and the value of VV biasing voltage. So this kind of numericals can be expected in your exams. Okay, so we have come to the end of this session. That is all for this session. Next time, we will continue the discussion on cascade amplifier. So until then, have a good day and thank you.